Today's video is going to be a new topic that's called QTimer. This is very much used in Qt programming. So as you can see in the whiteboard, actually the QTimer, the way you create in a Qt program or using Qt Creator is like you will have a main.cpp and you will have a mytimer.h and there will be a mytimer.cpp. As I explained earlier, the main program is here only. So you have to start with the Q core application argc.argv. This is a standard thing which you have to always say, and this is actually you are creating a mytimer mtimer. This is a class you are creating your own, and this is an object of that. And where this is going to be defined, this is going to be defined in the mytimer.h. In the mytimer.h you are creating a mytimer class, and mytimer class will have a constructor. The constructor is defined here and the program is defined in the written in the mytimer.cpp. So that is how it is. Now, as I said, there is a main.cpp, there is a mytimer.h, then mytimer.cpp. So now in the mytimer.h actually you are having the class defined, and inside this you also define so-called the QTimer star timer. This is basically you are creating a pointer of the QTimer, and this comes from the library QTimer. QTimer library we have to use for this, and you have created a pointer to the timer. After that, in the slots you have to say mySlot. That means you are going to call a function called mySlot whenever this timer executes. So in order to do that, what you have to do is in the mytimer.cpp, in the constructor you are saying timer is equal to new QTimer this. That means you are basically assigning the pointer to a new QTimer. After that, as I explained earlier, you have to use the signals and slot. That means you are going to use connect, then timer. In signal is timeout and slot is mySlot. MySlot will get executed whenever your timer is firing. So when it has to start, whenever you give a command timer start 1000, every 1000 millisecond, let the timer emit a signal and slot gets called. Inside the mySlot you can always say that you can print off executed timer or something like that. One line you can add. You can now practically see how this is done. So going to the Linux machine, I already type in the program so for convenience. So it's very simple. As I said, actually it's a main program and you have just added mytimer mtimer. This is what it is. So in this you can see that actually you have created a class called mytimer, and this is a constructor of that, and you also defined a pointer to QTimer using this library QTimer. So, and you are saying that this function I will call every time the timer fires, something like that. Now all these programs, actually the expansion of this, actually the programs are, these are the declarations which are written in mytimer.cpp. In mytimer.cpp what you are doing, you are assigning a new pointer of the timer to timer. After that you are using the so-called the connect statement, signal slot, connect timer. Whenever timer times out after 1 second, then you will say execute a function called mySlot. Okay, and after that you say timer start every 5000 millisecond. That means every 5000 millisecond it will emit a signal at the timeout, and you will call this function called mySlot. In the mySlot you will say timer executed like that every 5000 millisecond you will say that. So this is how the program works. You can see how this works. You run this program, you can see that every 5000 millisecond this line will get executed. See, timer executed, it has come 5000 every 5000 millisecond. And if I wanted this to be every 1 second, then you could simply type 1000, then you can run it. Then you can see that then the timer will execute faster. Every 1 second it is coming. That's all. Thank you.